Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sally Pinoque and I am finally showing my face off. I hope you're having a great day, evening, or afternoon wherever you are tuning in. I just want to say thank you for coming on, and also for those who have subscribed and liked and shared your comments on my last two videos. It was wonderful to see all of the love and appreciation that you have towards me, and I hope with more videos coming out from me I can engage with you more. A little bit about myself is I'm just very excited to really share my art and learn filmmaking, but also to share that side and that journey of me on YouTube, as well as to share some insight that I have when it comes to working in retail consumer tech. I've been working in that industry for about 13 plus years, and I do sell computers and all these other cool electronics inside retail stores. I do hope with more videos I get to share a lot more of my excitement as well as my insight and experiences on here. Let's get started. The purpose of this video is to really show you how I measure my Sony ZV1 camera on the Zhiyun Crane M2 gimbal. There's the ZV1 right over here, and then the Crane M2 actually was packaged in this box right here. I wanted to make this in particular because I actually learned how to balance my Crane M2 with the Sony ZV1 through numerous videos and reading the manual, almost word for word or very detailed point. And I struggled with that for quite a while, with learning to use the gimbal and also to get familiar with my Sony ZV1 camera. I've gotten better over time with filming, and with the last two videos that I just shared on my last upload, that was really just me understanding the techniques and filming and also like editing too. That is the purpose of this video, is to really show you how I measure my Crane M2 with the Sony ZV1. And I'm gonna show the centimeter mark for each of the axes. That way you have that particular axis, and if you want to take note of it, feel free to. Let me go ahead and show you the beginning of what it looks like when you're setting it up. Okay, opening the box here is the Crane M2 gimbal. Inside the content packaging, you also have the quick release plate, and you see the centimeter mark right there. That's where you would actually to measure a smartphone, a RX100 or ZV1, or even a GoPro, as well as any of the mirrorless camera system. You can do that as well. Thumb screw. And then the three legs that's coming out right here, you would use these to actually screw underneath the gimbal to place on the table as you're balancing the gimbal out. But for me, I actually use the Sony remote just because it's much bigger, and this is the one I would primarily use for my shoot. It's bigger, it's much more easy to grab, I would say. More in control of like any sort of the recording as well as the zoom too. So that's why I use this one in particular. The smartphone holder with the screw on the bottom, and some cables, as well as the wrist strap for the gimbal. In terms of actually storing them or grabbing it with you as you're on the go, I personally use my bag instead. One, because I can actually store it inside here. There's enough slot, enough space for me to place my camera and my gimbal in. So very easy storing, which I will demonstrate that in a bit. And any accessories that I also retain inside here. So my memory card or my extra batteries, I also have that inside there too. So what I do, or what I've done to balance it out, is first, you want to screw either the three-legged tripod, or in this case the remote, directly on the bottom, just like that. Okay, nice and tight. Then I'm going to pull out the legs, and this would happen with the legs out, but you want to actually place the gimbal and sit it upright in a 90-degree angles. So it would be the legs are out like this, the gimbals would be balanced like that. Boom. Okay. So what I would do next is right over here on the very back of the gimbal, you want to unlock it. So therefore you can move the gimbal around, or the pan axis is unlocked now. So when I start is I'm gonna screw in, I'm gonna put this over here to the side. Screw in the ZV1 with the quick release. And for this part here, you have to use the first hole, the first slot. This would be for the GoPros and the RX100 cameras. This one to my left, to your right, would actually be for the mirrorless cameras. And then screwing it on, it won't be perfect right away because it's going to be dependent upon the lens as well as the screen out. We'll have to adjust every single time as we're balancing the camera. Okay. Cool. Next is what we're going to start on first is I'm going to unlock the roll axis out. Just going to lock it in for now. The very first thing I'm going to focus on is the tilt. So the tilt motor is the very first thing I focus on. And then the install mount is where you would actually install your camera. So go ahead and open the camera up with the lens out. All right. Then go ahead and push the lever and then push it through the slot. And then the measurement that I use for the tilt axis is going to be between 0.4 centimeter and 1.4 centimeter. So how would I measure that is sorry, let me just find it. It's a little dark for me to see here, so I'm actually going to take this out just because it's a lot easier for me to see. Okay, cool. So I'm going to show that to you. So right there are the centimeter measurement that you would mark the install mount. So I place it in between 0.4 to 1.4. So 0.4 would be the top, where it's closest to the motor. And then the bottom of the install mount would meet at 1.4. Okay. As I have that aligned, I then use the screw to tighten the tilt axis. Okay. Okay, the first thing you would actually balance, as you can see here, we'll want to actually focus on the roll axis next. So you want to unlock and slide and mark it 2.4 centimeters. Oh man, I feel like I always have to stand up for this. It's a little dark to see here. I'm gonna put my memory lock at 2.4. Okay. All right. And we're not done here yet, because as we can tell, the camera is too far forward and we have to unscrew the thumb screw below the quick release plate and then move it back. As I move it back, then it's now too much weight behind. So there's a balancing act for the quick release of the camera. Keep going. Okay, almost there. Awesome. Voila! That looks balanced to me. Let me make sure this is balanced right here. Ooh. So how you would know this is balanced is that the camera stays put. And no matter what angle I would be at, it should still be there. And even when I have the camera pointing up, it should stay upright at a 90-degree angle. So that's how I know, and that's how you would know too, that the camera is balanced. Perfect. And then lastly, but not least, the pan measurement that I use is 2.5 centimeter. So it would be more looking down directly on the motor. So I would actually have this meet the circle with the 3 teeth. 2.5. And tighten that up. Perfect. And there you go. Let me go ahead and turn that on so you can actually see the camera being balanced. Oh man, very nice. Going up, down, double tap the trigger back here. What actually reset the gimbal to the default position. And then there's different modes that the gimbal does have feature. So PF is the standard one, that's when you first turn on the gimbal. Then the M would actually go into lock. So it would lock the gimbal. And no matter where you have moved your gimbal, it will stay in this position. POV gives you more of that aerial POV perspective. Back to PF, double tap would go into go. It's a bit more sports oriented or a bit more action oriented. As well as, double tap again on the M and you would go into vortex. And it would spin the camera like that really cool vortex spinning effect on some movies like Inception, for example. All right, cool. Now that I got the gimbal balance and the Sony ZV1 balance as well, I can now put it away, or I can just stop shooting. So turn off the camera, or turn off the gimbal. And the camera as well. Cool thing is, you can actually leave all the measurement and the mark the same. And I'm going to show that to you here. So unlock the thumb screw that's actually holding the quick release plate. Take that out. And this is okay to leave on, by the way. Then you want to unlock the roll axis screw to the very end. You want to push it to where it stops. And then for the tilt axis, you want to place it in the center where the roll axis meet or where it stops. As you line those two together, push down the roll axis. It should click. So when this clicks, it actually locks the roll axis to the pan axis, and then the tilt axis has this little slot there that actually should hold all three of the axes together. Lastly but not least, you lock the gimbal. Then folding the leg on the very bottom, I can either now grab my bag or just unscrew the bottom remote. Right, as you see here, it's inside my bag. Ah, shoot, it came off. There you go. Boom, very easy storing. All right, there you go. I forgot to lock it. There you go. Now that I lock it, it should not be moving anymore. And then you can put it away in the bag of your choice, or whatever's comfortable for you. And then the camera, I usually sometimes leave it in this pocket, but for now I'm just gonna put it into the small pocket. Also put that in the bag too. And voila! That is how I balance my ZV1, and also a nice way to put the gimbal and the camera in the bag. So that's just what I use whenever I'm out shooting. Awesome. Well, I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please leave a like in the video down below. If you have any questions about the measurement itself or anything gimbal related or Sony ZV1 related, please leave a comment below and just ask me any questions you like. And finally, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I do hope you found that enjoyable or helpful, at least to say. And I will be doing a follow-up video actually showing the microphone that I use to record with the Rode Video Mic Mini. So I will be doing that follow-up video soon. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.